Your friends are scrolling through short content, but you, my friend, you're here to learn. Welcome to TRS Clips. At the start of the episode, you said that you have memories of your past life, of passing away because of the Chinese invasion in Tibet. What do you specifically remember, other than like the pain?
I remember extreme anger at anything Chinese or communist party propaganda, anything like that. I remember feeling very angry. I remember telling my mother that this is not my home. I belong someplace else, and that I want to go back. My village is not here. My village is very far away. You're not my parents. You're not my parents. So I think I put my parents through a great deal of childhood trauma. But besides that, the image that I have in my mind is falling down, getting poked, I think with a bayonet, I think. Yeah, so some very graphic images.
And in this life, you were sure that you were supposed to become a Rinpoche.
No, it's a strange thing actually, because my Guruji, the 12th Gelong Rupa, who is the head of our lineage, he saw in his vision, without any doubt, that I was born in Ladakh. Usually, what happens when a Rinpoche is born in a place, let's say you here in Bombay, and then Guruji will send a search party saying, "Ki I've seen a vision, so go to Bombay." Go to Mumbai and then go to some places, Kolaba, go to Juhu area, go to Bandra, go to Andheri, and then look for this child. He may be roughly this age. His house may have these many members. The main direction of the door is this side. This many stories, this many windows. So he'll give like a list, and he will also give like some of the previous incarnations, personal items like my malas. This mala, if you put among 50 malas, I will know which is my mala, because I know exactly where some of the threads are getting worn out. I know exactly when I threaded this mala, some of them were misplaced and I replaced with the new ones. So I know each and every bit of this mala. So he would give some of my previous incarnations, items, so that they will try to check. They will mix with the new items, and in my case, my Guruji didn't have any doubt, so he said he knew it was me. So he just sent a search party, go and bring him, like direct style.
How
But
old were you?
I was one that time, so my mother requested that I be allowed to stay with her. So I stayed with my mother until I was 8. So I think I've been to second grade, maybe second and a half grade. Yeah, and then I was taken to monastery.
Were you thinking about the Buddha, or were you thinking about spiritual things as a kid?
Honestly, sometimes I think, I think I would lie if I say that I was always thinking of the Buddha. That would be a lie. I was a normal kid. I remember reading a lot of Chacha Chaudhary comics. Chacha Chaudhary or Raka Ka Keher. Sabo ko jab gussa aata hai to dur kahin jawal mein phadta hai. Like those things I remember, frankly. I remember eating chocolates that my father used to give me. But honestly, if I remember recalling a Buddha, not that much, to be honest with you. I was just a very normal child.
Okay. I have to ask you about the phase where you began living in the monastery. If we could cover that, but also I want to know why you got slightly disillusioned with monastery life. So take the story forward in whatever way you think is best.
Okay. So basically, when we talk about Rinpoches, or the correct term is actually Tulku. Tulku, Tulku, the correct technical term to describe us. Rinpoche basically means the precious one. It's a bit weird to call myself a precious one, but Tulku is the technical term. Tulku means magically born, magical reborn, something like that. So when a Tulku is born and he is given the title Rinpoche, Tulku and all that, he usually doesn't have a choice. He's brought to the monastery because it's his responsibility to continue the lineage of the previous incarnation and to teach propagate the teachings of the Buddha. So when I was brought to the monastery, I actually studied in Himachal in a small village called Rivalsar, where I think the movie Kareeb was shot. Bobby Deol and Neha, I think. Chori chori jab nazare mili. I remember that song when I was young. It was shot there. So I grew up in that village.
Okay.
And that time, my teacher was very rough. He was from Eastern Tibet. Very rough man, very strong, very kind, but still very rough. And you may have seen in Shaolin movies where the kid gets a little bit beaten, corporal punishment. I think I've seen it, maybe you can multiply 10 times. I couldn't even escape. The Shaolin kids escape, I was locked in a room. And I would wake up at 5 in the morning and meditate the whole day, chant whole day until 6, 7 in the evening.
From
Maybe-
5 to 6 in the evening.
Yeah, maybe 1-2 hours of break during the daytime after lunch, a small siesta, and that's it. And during the siesta, I would try to read some Chacha Chaudhary comics, Amar Chitar Katha and Tintin and all that. So I learned English like that.
That's the life of young Tibetan monks.
That's the life of a typical young Rinpoche, young Tulku. Yeah, monks usually enjoy more freedom. Sorry.
Okay. No, go on.
Yeah. Monks actually enjoy more luxury, more freedom. So I used to look outside my third story window. You can go next time. We'll go together. I'll take you to Rifalsar. I'll show you where I grew up. And I used to look down and I used to see monks playing Gilli Danda. And I would be chanting. Yeah. And I would, with my one eye, I will be chanting, one eye reading scriptures, one eye I'll be looking at the monks. And if I see some of the monks are cheating, I would shout out from the window, you're cheating. So like doing commentary and all that. So yeah, Rinpoche, usually they have much stricter life because we need to learn discipline at a very early age.
Why?
Because we sit on a big throne, which is 5-6 feet, and we teach to from 100 to few thousand people. So just in Ladakh, past 2 months, I've been teaching in all the villages. I haven't had a single day's break in 2 months. And I think I taught to more than a few thousand people. So we have to be disciplined. We cannot just scratch our head whenever we want. We cannot just twist and turn and go for a loo whenever we want. We have to be disciplined.
You have to earn your stripes, basically, even in this life, even though you're carrying certain spiritual lineage from your previous life.
Yes.
Okay? Like you have to re-earn it, basically.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that the meditation kind of encapsulates higher energies in your system to make you ready for your adult life.
That's a very true term that you use, encapsulate. Yeah, it's exactly that. Meditation and all these chantings, all this studying, all this contemplation and the transformation that happens, it encapsulates everything.
I know there's no way to say this story fast, but when you left the monastery also, you didn't have money.
Yeah.
And you worked your way up from there.
Yeah, so the first time when I left my monastery, I think I was around 18 and I'd gone to England. I didn't just go like that. I had a friend who was a computer programmer, a very good friend. And I was very interested in technology. In 1998, I remember someone told me there's something called email and something called computer. That literally blew my mind. And I did a computer course for 6 months. I finished in 1 month because I was so hungry for knowledge of computers. It just fascinated me. So I was a little bit techie and I was trying to learn some coding, Java, C++ and all that. And then this programmer I met and he saw that I was very curious. So he thought that it'll do me good to see the West. So he invited me to England on a 6 months visa. I overstayed and I stayed for 2 years, which I'm not proud of to break a law of a country like that. But I did gain a lot of experience.
And money?
Initial time when I went to England, no, I was quite poor. I struggled a lot. But then when I came back, then I think I earned my points then. I got a lot of teachings from my gurus. I spent 3 years and 3 months in meditation. I think I accumulated a lot of good karma. And after that, when I returned, then I started meeting it's like attracting a lot of, positive people. Some of them are extremely rich. And I'm talking European rich. And they really helped me with a lot of money. They borrowed me a lot of money. They taught me how to invest in stock, which I did. They helped me invest on my behalf. And the money grew, obviously. Then I became very rich very fast. And again, I fell into another trap for a few good years. 5-6 years, I think.
You enjoyed material wealth.
Yeah, I mean, to the extreme. I remember 2 big diamond studs. I remember a mohawk. I'll try to share some photos with you.
Wow.
Though I think maybe now is a good time to, bring them out of the hard drive and share it with the world. I think, yeah, I trust you with that. I've always kept it secret. Not like I'm ashamed or anything, but just still, it was a silly phase in my life. So Gucci, Armani from top to bottom. I look like, these showrooms threw up on me. I had a Maserati. I had a Mini Cooper, John Cooper Works, GCW, Cabrio, 211 horsepower, red, beautiful. My favorite actually.
You're the monk who bought a Ferrari.
I am a monk who sold his Maserati.
God.
That's what some people call me actually.
Okay.
So yeah, a few good things. Yeah.
Why did you leave it then?
Because I don't know, Ranveer. I mean, like, as when I was when I was poor, obviously you suffer. You hardly can put bread on the table and a morsel into your mouth, and you hardly have a roof over your head. Like, I spent a few days, maybe a week, on the sidewalk in England when I was very poor. I had depression, and I got kicked out of my job, and so many like stories. Um, so, like, being too poor was an extreme. Being too rich was another extreme. Then I started to attract people that I could not really relate to. People who are always too materialistic. Though I don't judge people who have money. Obviously, it's their own good karma. But then I think when you grow too fast, grow rich too fast, you don't know how to handle your wealth. Then I think you kind of get lost, and you become too materialistic, and you lose your good friends. And like we said in the beginning, life is more about love and relationships and God. So I think I started losing those good things. So I was starting to feel empty every day. Just wake up, go to the gym in my Maserati, and just work out and talk to some of the, I think, footballers like Ricardo Quaresma. He used to come to my gym.
Okay.
I love him. Yeah, his Trivela is something else. So
This was in Portugal.
yeah, he was in my gym for 1 month. I think he was going through some rehab that time. I think he was playing in Porto, if I remember.
He was supposed to be better than Ronaldo
Yeah.
when he was young.
Yes.
And the narrative in football is that he slipped off a little bit, but who's to judge what kind of mental health issues you're going through? I think circumstances are big.
But I'll tell you, his vibe from his heart, it was very pure. He was a genuinely good guy. They used to call him Cigano in Portuguese. Cigano, I think, is a very endearing term for calling the gypsy, because he came from the gypsy background. So with a very endearing way, Portuguese used to call him O Cigano, like that gypsy, he's ours. And yeah. So anyway, so it was becoming very like repetitive, the same cycle, 5-star hotels, Michelin food. And Barcelona 2012, I remember Rids, I was stayed in a suite. I spent 15 lakhs on 2 nights, which was, I think, too much. Some of my friends got food poisoning. Seriously, I think I still may have the receipt.
You're born in poverty and then you go to spending 15 lakhs in 2 nights.
It was crazy. I used to have like few ATM machines. So when I used to go to the, in Europe, they have like these ATM centers, and you have like 3 or 4 ATMs. So just show off to my friends. I used to put one card in each and quickly type before the time runs out, and take money out and give it to the friends, and again take the next amount, 3, 4 cards, put the pins. Just crazy. And I was like, yeah.
I don't think I've spoken to someone on this show who's seen this amount of life, including your previous life.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen the most amount of life, and then you return to like spiritual living and love. Says a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm fortunate that I saw everything quite soon, and I managed to get back on track. And right now, I'm happy with whatever little I have. Sometimes I have little, sometimes I have little, but more than little. Right now, I live on donations. I teach, and whatever people give me, 1 rupee, 10 rupee, 1,000, 10,000, it's up to them. I don't charge for anything, nothing at all. So yeah.
Is there a shortage of anything in your life?
No, nothing at all. I think as long as I can pay for my air tickets to come to Bombay and see you, to eat vada pav. Honestly, as long as I can I love photography. I've won a few decent cameras and good lenses. I love photography. So I like taking photos, traveling, seeing different places. As long as I can do that, I have enough money for that. I don't think I need a Maserati anymore.
In your extreme rich phase, you used to think about the monastery and your purpose and these things?
Yeah, I used to think maybe like, is this really what I want to do? I would wake up in the morning and I could smell my mother's bread, kambiri. It's a North Indian dish. And Ladakh, we call it khambir. I think they also serve it in Punjab. So my mother used to make them on stone, flat stone. Like, the smell is very nice, very thick. My mouth is watering. So, and you put, you just cut it in half. You put a little bit of jam, a little bit of butter. Next time when you come to Ladakh, trust me, it's something else. So khambiri, I used to remember. And I used to wake up and I could almost smell my mother's khambiri and her voice, asking me to wake up. I would wake up and then I would realize I'm in Europe. I'm in a nice place, but not in my home. and I would have to eat some bread and all that, So yeah, so I used to think about my monastery. I used to think about my colleagues. I used to think about my spiritual path, whether I've deviated too far, whether it's too late, and whether I'm doing the right thing. So, but then I kind of got trapped, because what happens when you enter a certain circle in the society, there's what we call in Hindi len den, give and take. So even if you want to withdraw, you can't. They won't allow you to, because their own happiness, their version of happiness depends on you being a part of the circle. So it becomes like a cog in the wheel. So it becomes very difficult to come out of it. I realize this. So either you just, gracefully escape gradually, or you just immediately eject.
Cold turkey.
Yeah, cold turkey. I think I did the cold turkey bit.
Just bounced one day.
Yeah, I just sold everything, bought a ticket to back to India, came to Darjeeling, donated everything to, we have two monasteries, one in Himachal, one in Darjeeling. Donated to Darjeeling and Himachal, came to zero, and then again spent 2 years in retreat just to detoxify all the Michelin food and all the all the traumas of the big brands.
Okay. So that's your story. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out this playlist for more videos just like this. It's the Artist Clips.